The rush to stash your cash.
Times are tough. I'm just really confused at the moment, I guess.
Why Melburnians now want to save.
There are simple, effective ways to give you financial peace of mind.
Savings are at a 25-year high.
A special consumer report on 7 News tonight at 6.
While Melbourne tries to focus on a winnable game against the Gold Coast on Sunday, questions over Brock McLean's tanking allegations just won't go away. While thousands of fans flocked to the MCG again today, many say they feel cheated by yesterday's decisions, saying the review technology should be compulsory.
Jack Ziebell has vowed he won't be changing his playing style despite being suspended for 4 games. As Katherine Firkin explains, the Kangaroo left for Utah this morning hoping to return stronger and fitter.
Not happy and not sticking around. Jack Ziebell flew out of Melbourne this morning, headed for Utah.
Now just making sure I can do everything I possibly can to get my body right in the best shape possible for the Pies in a month.
A controversial 4-match ban for this bump on Aaron Joseph has left the Kangaroo disappointed but defiant.
I don't think I'll change the way I play, but that's for the tribunal and that to decide, and I'll keep going about it the way I go about it, and if that gets me into trouble in the future, so be it.
Last night, the Cats sent an ominous message to the competition, destroying the Bombers by 67 points.
We're confident that if we play like that, especially around the ball, that we're a hard team to beat.
We didn't capitalise on ground level and they outnumbered us at most contests around the ground.
A groin injury to Steve Johnson, the only downside for Geelong. Meanwhile, here at Victoria Park, Luke Hodge had a low-key return from knee injury, lining up for Box Hill in the VFL. The Hawks skipper looked in good form, moving freely despite strapping on his left knee. Katherine Firkin, 7 News.
Richmond coach Damien Hardwick has warned his players to follow orders or be shown the door following last night's loss to Carlton. For the 3rd straight week, the Tigers went down by less than a goal, ending their finals hopes while the Blues kept their season alive.
Broken and defeated, the Tigers are struggling to find positives after their finals dream ended last night.
I tried to stay standing and walk around for a little while just to show that our season's not done by any means.
A last-minute goal to Brock McLean, giving the Blues a lifeline as they continue towards September.
It's cleared the back, it's a goal! Boy, oh boy!
Was it our best performance? No, but it was probably one of our most courageous.
It broke yellow and black hearts and infuriated Damien Hardwick.
They start playing for the jumper the way we want them to play, or they don't play, and they'll quickly find themselves out the door.
Magpie Travis Cloke could find himself in the door at Punt Road, though, if the Tigers have their way.
He's a quality player of the competition, and who wouldn't want him?
We'll straighten us up a little bit, no one have to play on him, so good job.
Meanwhile, Collingwood returned from Sydney today with a clean bill of health after their 120-point win over the Giants. Dane Swan starred, racking up 38 possessions and kicking 5 goals.
He's a freak, he does it week in, week out, so it's pretty bit of a regular thing these days.
Katherine Firkin, 7 News.
The ballets turned into a ticket fiasco for a young Melbourne mum. She was looking forward to the performance of Swan Lake, but then Arts Centre staff forced her to buy a seat for her newborn baby girl.
She's not old enough to sit upright yet, but 2-month-old Talia still needs her own paid seat, according to a tough policy at the Arts Centre.
We were turned around and told to go buy a ticket for my daughter.
A treat to see Swan Lake turned expensive when Mum Christy and Grandmother Lynn were told the infant child was not allowed in without a separate ticket.
To have to pay for her when she was in a sling and had to be breastfed, it's just crazy.
And there was more to come. While Christy and Lynn were seated in row R, 2-month-old Talia was given her own seat in row Z.
So 8 rows behind was where her seat was.
The Arts Centre can hold up to 2,000 people at any one show, and management here insist the only way to ensure safety is to make sure that everyone has a paid ticket. An Arts Centre spokesman said everyone needs a ticket. It's standard procedure. In an emergency, the centre needs to know how many they may need to evacuate. But many aren't convinced.
You don't pay for babies. You know, they're on your knee, they don't need a seat.
Just doesn't make any sense.
And an extra $35 later, what did Talia think of the show?
She slept.
Katherine Firkin, 7 News.
An alarming rise in police chases has prompted a new push to jail drivers who start them. The police union wants them locked up for 3 years, and the government has promised to consider the plan. More from Katherine Firkin.
They're unpredictable and sometimes fatal, and police chases are becoming more common. In one recent case, desperate officers used human shields to stop a driver. The union wants change.
We think it's time that the penalties that should be imposed reflect the seriousness of the offence.
The association has asked the state government to introduce a 3-year jail term for those who spark police chases.
Surely has to give people eventually pause to think about, do I put my foot on the accelerator and run the risk of spending Christmas in jail, or do I just pull over and face the consequences of whatever it is that I've done?
The government's promised to consider the legislation, and senior police say they support any laws which deter drivers from trying to evade police. The plan also has support from Norm Robinson. He's become a road safety campaigner since the death of his son Luke.
People need to be punished for putting our lives at risk on the road.
He says the move in other states to ban police from chasing is the wrong message.
I think the police have the right to chase, because if they don't chase them, well, people are just going to do whatever they want.
It's just an untenable situation and it's a descent towards anarchy.
Katherine Firkin, 7 News.
Sydney has jumped back to the top of the ladder after surviving a tough contest against St Kilda. The Saints looked dangerous early, but the Swans were relentless, charging home by 29 points. Katherine Firkin has more.
Stephen Milne got the Saints off to a flyer.
What a kick! What an amazing goal!
While the Swans looked like they couldn't buy a goal.
Really disappointed.
St Kilda leapt to a 4-goal lead before Jared McVeigh steadied his side.
And to finally get it online. At last.
Sydney turning the tide in the second quarter.
Bang!
Super goal.
And they are back.
Kosicki got the better of his own skipper, but Shane Mumford was the day's first real casualty, subbed off with a knee injury early in the third. Adam Goods gave Saints defenders the slip.
Extends the margin.
While Samuel Donnell got St Kilda back to within 4 points with his first goal in AFL footy. Milne booted his 5th to close the gap.
It has gone through. It's a goal.
It wasn't enough to stop the Swans though, the win taking back top spot on the ladder, while St Kilda's finals hopes hang in the balance.
We felt we've really let an opportunity slip today.
Katherine Firkin, 7 News.